Africa has often been imagined as a canvas for our goodwill. In that first rush of empathy, we yearn to act, to extend kindness, to alleviate, to give. We sought actions that would soothe our own unease, projects that aligned with our perception of need. But then, beneath the African sun, a deeper question emerged. What is true harmony? Is it a one-way transfer or a mutual becoming? We began by taking photos for children and helping staff observe giraffes. The children were joyful, the giraffes magnificent. Yet, after completing these so-called public service, we found ourselves trapped in a Western savior narrative, the very illusion Yvonne had warned us about.
It's an old idea, an old image, an old story that gets repeated over and over and over again. I was terrified that the Woye African narrative was going to be reimposed in a new kind of future.
What is Woye African narrative? It's a Kenyan expression of lamentation, the poor, helpless, pathetic Africa stories much beloved of the West. Flies in the eyes, always suffering. So when you offer any kind of help under this narrative, you inadvertently cast yourself as the hero. It strips Africa of its agency. This perception pushed us beyond the bubble of public service at Soisembu, compelling us to seek real answers. Not what we want to give, but what this land and its people truly need. And what roles should we actually play? Let's start from Kibera, the biggest slumdog in Africa. Over 500 NGOs and CBOs are operating in Kibera, with more than 12,000 foreign NGO workers stationed there. Yet, the fundamental situation of poverty in Kibera remains largely unchanged. Zhou Tao, CEO of Connect Ahadi, shared that his team once calculated the input-output ratio of NGOs in Kibera and found that the funds channeled into these organizations would have been enough to renovate Kibera several times over. But Connect took a different path. They built East Africa's largest Wi-Fi network, slashing internet cost to 1/10 of market rates, empowering communities with affordable access. But they didn't stop there. They hired locally trained youth and turned former street youths into tech ambassadors. And they've expanded into essential services, building community water systems, e-commerce platforms, and mobile payment infrastructure. This isn't aid. This is empowerment. Real impact comes not from giving, but from enabling. Just like Connect, FarmWorks believes in sustainable change. Through contract farming, they provide seeds, training, and a guaranteed market, boosting farmers' income by 2 to 3 times. They're now Kenya's top tomato supplier, proving that partnership builds lasting growth. From connectivity to crops, and now to care. Nyungu Africa, founded by local entrepreneur Mary, redefines sustainability from the ground up. They produce affordable, eco-friendly sanitary pads made from pineapple fiber, tackling both environmental waste and period poverty at once. This isn't just a product. It's a promise of health, education, and dignity for women across Kenya. True innovation begins when local voices lead the change. Oh, there are some other locals we haven't shown you.
Every time I think of you, I feel a shot right through the fog of blue. It's no problem of mine, but it's a problem of mine. Living a life that I can't leave behind. There's no sense in
Beyond this magnificent wilderness lies an operational brain, the Masai Mara Conservation Center. We were honored to visit them, becoming the first Chinese delegation to witness their work. They monitor all animals and vehicles with a custom-developed tracking system and collaborate with Tanzania to protect endangered species like rhinos and cheetahs. This is where technology meets tradition in the ongoing work to protect this irreplaceable wilderness. Now we turn to the ties between China and Kenya. Ties built not on aid, but on mutual respect and shared ambition. A railway is never just a railway. In Kenya, the old British meter gauge railway was built with blood and tears. But today, a new standard gauge railway transforms this legacy. The Chinese-built Mombasa-Nairobi Railway completed 2.5 years ahead of schedule. It has slashed the Nairobi-Mombasa travel time from 20 hours to just 8. Some Western media called this a debt trap, but the numbers tell a different story. 74,000 local jobs created, over 90% Kenyan staff, and 2% added to Kenya's GDP. This railway isn't Chinese-owned. It's Kenyan's sovereign infrastructure, built and operated together. Kenya now moves forward on tracks of dignity, not dependency. Beyond state projects, we have the Kenya-China Chamber of Commerce that has helped secure 63 billion shilling deals and established Kenyan trade pavilions in China. Before returning home, through Yvonne's arrangement, we engaged in a genuine dialogue with students at the Technical University of Kenya. Face to face, continent to continent. This direct connection brought us closer, breaking down long-held stereotypes. As Li Fang rightly said,
so it's very important for the young people to build proximity. From now on, then you can communicate directly rather than through the lens of the West or the narrative that have been there for a long time, which might be problematic.
This wasn't just a conversation, it was the beginning of a new narrative written by us, the youth of China and Africa. At this point, we might have found one of the ways to tackle the structural issues of volunteerism in Kenya. Sustainable business practices. We don't mean to deny all volunteer projects. Indeed, we were deeply touched by the dedication of groups like Dream Building Service Association. But to truly understand this world on its own terms, we must step out of our comfort zone of thinking. True harmony is not manufactured through short-term projects. It is cultivated through empowering, coexisting, and uniting. We came with empathy, but we leave with clarity. That dignity grows not from what we give, but from what we build together. As Yvonne reminded us, we are to be ambassadors, not just of our university or country, but also of the future. This is not the end. It is a new beginning, a beginning written by the youth in a language of mutual becoming.